Good evening, I'm Cynthia Ng. You are tuning in to AWANI Tonight. Health Minister cautions of malnutrition among kids and obesity among adults. And on Micro SME Day, we explore how best to support them amid rising inflation. That's coming up. Health Minister Kari Jamaluddin says the country is currently facing a double burden of malnutrition among children under the age of 5 and increasing obesity rates among adults. Kelantan, Putrajaya, Terengganu and Pahang record the highest rates of stunted growth among children. The Special Committee to Combat Double Burden of Malnutrition Among Children has approved a national strategic plan to address this.
Kalau kita lihat dari segi kedudukan sekarang, masalah prevalence bantut pada tahun 2015 NHMS adalah 17%, tapi dah meningkat lebih daripada 20%. Ya. So kita nak turunkan prevalence bantut kepada 12.3% pada tahun 2025 dan 8%, sekurang-kurangnya 8% pada tahun 2030. Ini yang menjadi sasaran kita sekarang. Di Malaysia sekarang ini, berdasarkan kepada maklumat daripada Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, masalah bantut pada tahun 2019, ni last yang kita ada, adalah 21.8%. Mungkin masalah ini telah meningkat sejak pandemik.
Kari says various factors may have contributed to the stunted growth of children, such as socio-demographics, household income, ethnic group, occupation, and level of education. The Special Committee will focus on addressing all issues related to nutrition and food. This includes families' access to stable food protein sources and the price of milk formula. The committee's first meeting today saw the participation of the Health Ministry, as well as the Education, Women, Family and Community Development and the National Unity Ministries.
Putrajaya should cut government expenses, not subsidies, amid rising cost of living, says Pakatan Harapan. The coalition also urged the federal government to maintain the ceiling price of chicken and chicken eggs, as well as bottled cooking oil subsidies, claiming that the removal of these measures would further increase the inflation rate and burden the people.
PH also called for additional subsidies to be given to chicken farmers and traders to maintain supply. The government will cease subsidizing bottled cooking oil starting July 1st, but cooking oil sold in 1 kg polybags would continue to be subsidized. A new ceiling price for chicken will also be announced soon, though chicken eggs will be exempted from the plan.
Two alarming headline figures emerged last week: a decade-high surge in food prices and the largest subsidy bill in Malaysia's history. Tonight on Consider This, we ask our guests what would be the best use of government resources now. "50 Taman Sri Muda Shah Alam residents hit by devastating floods last December have sued authorities for negligence. They are seeking special damages amounting to 3.8 million ringgit in compensation.
Defendants include the Director Generals of National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, and Meteorological Department, the federal and state government, a few ministers, Irrigation and Drainage Department, and the Shah Alam City Council. Others also named in the suit are KDEB Waste Management Sdn Berhad and Tenaga Nasional Berhad. Plaintiffs who filed the suit in Shah Alam High Court last week asked the court to address general and aggravated damages for pain and suffering, emotional distress and mental anguish. Among others, they claimed that NADMA did not effectively prepare rescue measures while only giving the alert 2 days after the floods. Case management is fixed for July 25th.
The World Urban Forum urges innovative and inclusive solutions to respond to the CCC crisis of COVID, climate and conflict. Held at Poland this year, the biannual forum calls for urgent action to creating cities that are more efficient and resilient from threats. Astro AWANI editor Zulfitri Yusof reports from Katowice.
And then inclusivity is a part of the theme of the forum. Can you tell us more? Because we need to participate. It's not just for the thought leadership for the people that are making the policy maker, but we need to involve with the people, for the young people. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, we are very proud that this forum, we are trying to make it inclusive. First of all, we have a lot of special features so that people with disabilities can participate, people can participate online. As you know, UN and especially UN Habitat, we are always saying that development, when we are doing sustainable development, we should make sure we leave no one and no place behind. It is really very important to have this conference right now. I think rapid urbanization is a mega trend, and the world is facing triple crisis. COVID, we are just recovering from COVID. We also have economic crisis, climate crisis, and then the conflicts that are going on.
Organized by UN Habitat, the World Urban Forum was established by the United Nations in 2001 to study rapid urbanization and its effects on cities, communities, economy, as well as climate change. Executive Director of the UN Habitat, Datuk Sri Maimunah Muhammad Sharif, says the organization had analyzed about 1,700 cities in the world and identified few main areas of concern, namely the need to look into the issue of poverty, rethinking of urban design and governance. The 11th session of the World Urban Forum will be held till Thursday. Stay tuned for more updates and exclusive interviews from Katowice, Poland, only on Astro AWANI and astroawani.com. We will go for a quick break. Stay with us.
COVID-19 memperlihatkan kepada kita betapa pantasnya adaptasi teknologi di kalangan PKS kita. Niaga AWANI dan Unified Business akan menyelami perjalanan kebangkitan semula PKS kita melalui segmen Jiwa SME setiap Selasa dan Khamis untuk inspirasi anda.
Transformasikan perniagaan dengan Unified Business, rakan digital pilihan anda. Hubungi kami sekarang dan jimat sehingga 50%. Jom Unified Business.
You're wondering what happens now.
The Illuminati will see you, Stephen. Oh, that's something. We will see what kind of Doctor Strange you are.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Stream sekarang di Disney Plus Hotstar. Naik taraf ke Ultrabox atau aktifkannya sekarang di astro.com.my/Disney.
Welcome back. As the nation struggles with rising food prices and supply shortages, micro SMEs, which make up the bulk of SMEs, face many challenges to stay afloat. Cynthia Ng from the SME Association of Malaysia shares their plights and possible solutions.
The micro sector is the one who's going to face the biggest impact when it comes to food prices increase, because their costs will be bigger. Now, if you are a small or mid-sized SME or a larger SME, the cost increase probably wouldn't affect you that much because you have other means to recover by cutting some other costs. But for that micro SMEs, they do not have much other cost to cut. Like if your petrol price has gone up, your food price has gone up, your cost of raw material has gone up. That's it, because they have only one kind of product to sell.
Malaysia imports more than 55 billion ringgit worth of food products. Therefore, reducing reliance on food imports would require increasing domestic supply. Cynthia Ng said allowing foreign workers to help MSMEs in this area may just be the solution.
So what we need to do is, like many articles you read, there are a lot of politicians also say you plant your own food. Try to get more resource in locally, right? Try to encourage more farming. But the issue is that now we are lack of workers. The SME are trying. Workers are still haven't coming in, right? And you can foresee that a lot of them are taking chances of hiring illegal workers, which I think is a bad move for the country to move forward, right? And I think for the shorter term, I think government should quickly allow the foreign workers to come in as soon as possible, at least to help us to smooth out the situation. Then we move on to the second stage. Second stage means we go transportation, we go technology, we go AI. To for instance, for agro farming, we go high-tech agro farming. So that take a longer period. But if you don't do something right now, then eventually we can't move. even for the start of, like I said, the foreign workers is not in, there are a lot of things doesn't move.
On MSME Day, Chi Seong highlights the need for the government to do more for these businesses.
The SME have been contributing under our GDP. It used to be 38.5, 38.9%, and because of the COVID situation, it dropped a bit. And but we are targeting to achieve 45% under the RMK 12 to 45%, for instance. It's 45% under SME, and we carry almost half of the workforce of the country. That's a huge market, It's a huge market. I mean, a huge contribution from the SME end. And of course, government realize that. I do agree. They know, but maybe there are too many things in the hand or the plate, so they have to tackle one by one. But I believe government should take extra attention, right, to help the SMEs, and in many other ways.
On to international news. Japan is preparing for a power crunch as temperatures rise nationwide. Authorities urge people in Tokyo and its surrounding area to save electricity, warning of strained supplies due to a surge in demand.
The government expected demand for power to be severe from 3 to 6 p.m. local time. It urged people to switch off unnecessary lights but use air conditioning to avoid heat stroke. For weeks, officials have warned of a power crunch as the country faces heat wave. Summer in Japan begins in June, but temperatures usually stay below 30 degrees Celsius. Over the weekend, central Tokyo recorded a temperature of 35 degrees Celsius, and northwest in the city of Isesaki, a record 40.2 degrees Celsius was logged.
Sri Lankan authorities begin handing out tokens to people queuing for petrol amid a severe fuel shortage. This is the latest measure taken by the Sri Lankan government to tackle its worst economic crisis in 7 decades.
Fuel station queues have grown rapidly since last week. According to the government, the nation has about 9,000 tons of diesel and 6,000 tons of petrol stocks, but no fresh shipments are due in the coming weeks. Sri Lanka's 2 fuel distributors, the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation (CPC) and Lanka IOC, have increased fuel prices, the 4th hike this year. Meanwhile, people have been told to work from home to reserve fuel, while schools were forced to shut for a week in the capital, Colombo. The country currently needs at least $5 billion over the next 6 months to pay for basic essential items such as food, fuel and fertilizer.
Russia is on course to default on its debt for the first time since 1998. About $100 billion worth of interest on Russian government bonds were due on May 27th. The payments had a grace period of 30 days, which expired on Sunday. Russia has struggled to keep up payments on $40 billion of outstanding bonds since its invasion of Ukraine on February 24th. Western sanctions have cut the country off from the global financial system and rendered its assets untouchable to many investors. Russia has plentiful oil and gas export revenues and has repeatedly said it wants to carry on servicing its debt. Meanwhile, the Group of 7 Rich Democracies, G7, will commit to a new package of coordinated actions meant to raise pressure on Russia and will finalize plans for a price cap on Russian oil. Macau launches its 3rd round of mass COVID-19 testing today. The world's largest gambling hub is battling a rise in cases with lockdowns and mandatory testing.
Macau saw 2 rounds of COVID-19 testing for over 600,000 residents the past week. The latest round is expected to end tomorrow. Authorities have locked down multiple buildings and put over 5,000 people in quarantine in the past few days. Most businesses and eateries were told to shut, including bars, hair salons and outdoor parks. Casinos, while mostly deserted, remain open. Macau adheres to China's zero-COVID policy.
That's all we have for you on AWANI Tonight. I'm Cynthia Ng. Thank you for watching.